Hello you guys. Today I decided I wanted to do a little bit more of a deep dive reading, something that's going to help us to progress in our own lives and within ourselves. So it's going to get a little deep, it's going to get a little intense, and I'm already feeling the energy of just kind of nerves and anxiety. But today's pick a card reading is going to be about our shadows. So we are going to take a look at what shadow healing you can do, what within your shadows, what am I trying to say? Shadow healing. Take two. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading on shadow healing. And it's not funny, but I mean, we all do have shadow sides and light sides, things that we're not very forthcoming about within ourselves, within our experiences, and then the aspects within us that we love to shine. And so I think that it is very important that within this approach, we try to find the ability to remember that we are human beings, and everybody has, whether it's talked about or not, everybody has elements of shadows. So to try to approach it with as much lightheartedness as you can. But I do want to go ahead and just add a trigger warning. I haven't looked at the cards or started to dive into them yet, obviously, but I just can only imagine that if we're talking about shadows, this is probably going to be a topic in which it may require some sensitivity. I do want to say, however, my reading style, my communication style in general is pretty direct. That doesn't mean that I don't have empathy or that I'm not sympathetic towards a person, their situation, their shadows, what they're going through, their vulnerabilities. I am. And but especially when I'm reading, I tend to I tend to focus a little bit more on understanding the situation. And so while I can tap into your energy and feel what you may be experiencing, or what you're feeling, what your energy is sharing with mine at the time of the reading, I can feel that, and I can feel empathy with that. But when I don't have that feeling, when I'm not Jesus, Aaliyah. Hello, throat chakra. This is going to be the longest intro ever. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is I do have empathy. Please forgive me if my communication style is too direct and comes across very curt. That's not my intention. It's that I have to really almost use a lot of my logic in understanding and depicting the messages that are coming through from spirit. And so sometimes I'm communicating what I'm seeing and what I'm sensing, and because I'm trying to make sense of it, I don't always add in the empathy that I may be feeling. I hope that makes some kind of sense. I may cut this intro because it's super long. Anyways, my point is we have 3 piles here. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So take your time, pause to choose what pile or piles you feel most drawn to. I don't think I'm going to add a video for this one, or excuse me, a picture for this one, because first of all, that was a long ass intro, and also I feel like the pictures are pretty clear and pretty centered in the camera. So this is going to be more of an intuitive read. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with pile 1. Whoops. All right, pile 1. All right. So you have Ace of Swords. Okay. What is going on with you and your communication? I'm getting the sense that you have a difficult time initiating conversation, but this is not necessarily in general. I think it has to do around certain topics or a certain topic. It's like a, I don't necessarily know that there is a checklist of things that you're like, no, I'm not going to speak up about this. It's more of like how you feel that determines when you're going to speak up, or if you're going to speak up about something, if you're going to communicate, if you're going to initiate conversation about something. So if it's like, if there's a feeling of uneasiness, if there's a feeling of hesitancy, or if there's a feeling of just being unsettled within your energy, you're not necessarily going to speak up. And I'm not sure that you even know that you have the that you are super aware of this about yourself. All right, let's see what else we can get to support this. I just get the sense that you'd rather like keep silent and bite your tongue. I'm getting the energy that you would rather keep silent and bite your tongue than to disturb the peace, or to disturb your peace. Okay, so it seems like you are telling yourself that to keep quiet is to maintain peace. But in actuality, it's causing a lot of mental anguish, and you're not getting out, you're not able to get out what it is that you are feeling, or you're not able to clearly articulate. It's not that you're not able to, but because you are navigating these situations, because you're navigating situations where you would rather not speak up than to speak up, you're not, okay, what am I trying to say? You end up, you're saying to yourself that that's your way of creating peace, but it's actually creating mental turmoil. And what I mean by that is that when you have the opportunity to speak up and maybe set an expectation in a relationship or in a situation, in a job, in any type of environment, in your home, whatever, it doesn't matter. When you have the ability to clearly communicate your expectation, to say, hey, this is what I need, this is what I expect of you, can you show up for this, what can you provide, how can we compromise and meet each other halfway? You don't do that. And so because you don't do that, you're saying it's to keep the peace, but you end up just like hyper overthinking about the situation or situations, and it creates it disturbs your peace. It creates this like overthinking energy, a lot of mental energy I'm getting, and then it ends up like settling and creates irritation. And now these situations or these people, these relationships, or whatever it is that you may have been happy to be a part of in the past, now you're becoming intolerant towards it. And now it's getting to the point where like because you are biting your tongue so much, it's like you are navigating through life feeling more intolerant than not, feeling more irritated than not. You like things and situations, people, words, anything like easily gets under your skin. And the way that you react to that is very aggressive, and it's non-communicative. It's not effective communication. It's sarcasm, and it's very condescending. It's very critical. It's very judgmental. Why is that? Why is that? Let's ask. Why is that? I like for you guys to be able to see when I shuffle. So like for instance, this, when the cards fall out. But because of how I have my camera set up, I feel like it's like super zoomed in on these nails of mine that are, whatever, they are what they are. So I'm going to shuffle behind the camera. But the cards that I pull are still the jumpers. Okay. So I asked, why is that? And you got the 8 of Swords. I'm just getting the sense that you feel, I heard contractually bound. I'm not sure what that means, but you feel bound by something, and it feels pretty pretty significant. Yeah, and whatever it is, there's a threat of loss that if you were to, it's like, what am I sensing? It's like you're risking losing something if you were to speak up. If you were to use your voice and to speak up and set expectations and say like how you feel or what you need or what you want, like what you want. That's what I heard. What you want. Emphasis on you. If you were to speak up about what you want, there's like a risk of loss. There's like a sense that you might lose out on something, that there might be a loss, and that it could potentially. Oh, so sorry, you guys. I didn't realize the camera got a bit twisted there. There is a sense of loss. So okay. I need to spread these out a little bit more. I just get the sense that you feel that it's better to just like keep your, what did I hear just now? Head down, eyes closed, mouth shut. It's like, gosh, it's almost, it's so wild because you have a lot of swords energy here. Well, like 2 of the 3 cards so far are swords energy, but I'm just getting the sense that you are like disconnected from your own thought process. Like you're disconnected from your own thinking. It's almost like, okay, this might be a little bit of a graphic visual, but this is what I'm getting. It's almost like your head was like popped off of your body and then somebody else's head was put on your body. And so now like your thoughts are not your own. Like you have to think. You can't think for it's like you're not able to think for yourself. And it's not that you're not able to. You are able to, but something is keeping you from viewing your own thoughts as valid. So it's like when you have a thought, you talk yourself out of that, or it's not necessarily you. It's this other head that's on you. It's this other influence. It's this other head that's like talking you out of your own thoughts or talking you out of communicating because it's better to keep the peace to be this way. I hope that this is making some kind of sense the way that I'm explaining this. But it's like you're walking around with your head in your arms, like in your hand, like you're carrying your head, your own head. So you have like you're holding it. You know, you have a sense that it's like you know you are detached. What is that imagery? It's like I'm just getting that you're like kind of cradling it like a football. It's like you hold your own thoughts close to you, very dear. So you don't speak up about them. You might be a person that maybe journals, or you may have some kind of like outlet that you don't share with everybody. Maybe you write songs. You don't share it with everybody. And then the thoughts that you do speak openly about, they are thoughts that are accepted by this thing or person or whatever it is that you feel bound by, this thing or person, or I'm getting like a book, like a law or a set of rules or something. It's something that you feel bound to, that like if it's not in this literature or in this, if it doesn't clearly state that this is an acceptable thought, then I'm not speaking up on it, and I'm only going to speak up in the situations where it says that this is okay. I hope this is making sense. I'm curious to know if this resonates. If it does, please comment down below if you feel comfortable, and let me know if this is, if this is something that if this is making sense to you. I heard downfall. This will be your downfall. Yeah, man. Okay, you have the Three of Swords here, the Ten of Wands reverse, and the Five of Pentacles. This is hardcore, the energy of like you leaving yourself behind. And you are breaking your own heart, and you are carrying way more than you're supposed to, because this thing that you feel bound to is it's like, all right, how can I explain this? It's like there's this thing that you feel bound to, and they are like, I'm getting the sense like indirectly, it's almost like it's like casting out. You ever look in the sky sometimes and then you see the sun? Well, you don't really see the sun. You see like clouds, and then the sun is behind the clouds, but then in those clouds there are like little sun rays that kind of come down and it casts out, and it almost sometimes looks like it's like shining right on one spot. That's the energy that I'm getting, where it's like you don't it's like, you know that the sun is the sun and that the sun is there. The sun doesn't have to say, I am the sun. But when the sun like casts out its rays, it's like this expectation. It's like this unspoken expectation. Like, this is the sun, and we got to stay within the rays of the sun. Do you know what I'm saying? So it may not necessarily be directly communicated to you. And that may be where this cycle is coming in. It's like, it may not be directly communicated to you in a way where it's like you have to exist like A, and if you step outside of A, then, you know, this is going to be the harsh consequence. It's not necessarily as blunt and direct. It's more kind of like understood. Like, this is what we expect of you. This is how you need to behave. You know what I mean? And if you don't, ... Like, that's it. It's like nothing else is said, but there's this unspoken, like, ooh, this should be feared, you know? And so anytime you have thoughts that don't fall, that's not inside of that like casted sun ray, the way that I explained it, then it's in the shadow. And that is what you suppress. That is when you hold that in, because it's not acceptable. And so because it's not acceptable, we push it off to the sides. But you pushing that off to it's a part of you. It is your own thought process. A part of it is even your intuition, is what I'm picking up on. It's your own compass of being able to navigate through life, and you're like pushing it, the parts of that compass that don't align with this cast of sun ray, you're pushing it out to the shadows. And essentially what you're doing is you're pushing parts of your own self out to the shadows, and you're saying that it's not acceptable. And so because of that, you're constantly reiterating to yourself these messages of these parts of you are not valuable, or they're not acceptable, or they are like unworthy or sinful or shameful. This is not anything to be broadcast or to be proud of, because it doesn't fall within this segment of sun ray. Do you know what I'm saying? So you, by continuing to remain under this umbrella of whatever this thing you're bound by, whether it's some kind of literature or like a authority figure, tradition, I'm getting whatever it is, it's well established. It's well established. So by continuing to remain under the umbrella of this well-established organization, is what I'm going to call it for lack of a better term, you are continuing to suppress your true self and perpetuate insecurities and untruths about you. And because you are continuing to do that, and because you're continuing to perpetuate this insecurity, it's contributing then to the cycle of not speaking up on your thoughts, and creating this like overthinking and this like doubting yourself. And I just got distracted by the Five of Cups. Now I'm curious, because it's like I'm remembering that you feel like if you were to do that, there's like a sense of loss that's tied to that. Okay, so what is that about? What is this loss? Oh, the Two of Swords. I feel like you're not going to be able to move forward. In what way? What does that mean? I'm getting the sense that that it would make you, that you would feel like invalidated, like whatever, what's the word? I think it starts with an A. Whatever, like, it's not credit. It's not accreditation. Whatever, I'm just getting the sense that your words right now, the things that you say, are valuable. In your perspective and how people relate to you, it's deemed as valuable. It's like gold. But the truth of the matter is that they're not always your words. It's just it's taking me back to that visual of that your head is being held in your arm, it's cradled, but you have a different head on top of your body. So it's like somebody's feeding the words to you and you just regurgitate them out. So they're not necessarily your own. You have your own and you're holding on to them dear, but there's the sense that if you were to remove this head that's attached and put your own on, and then use your own words to speak about the things that you believe in and that you not necessarily that you believe in. It's not that you don't. Okay, anyways, if you were to use your own words and speak about, like, share your own thoughts, share your own perspectives, it may contradict what you have said before. Oh, I see. Okay, so there may be like a sense of hypocrisy that I think that you might, okay, and then you feel like you might lose your credibility, like you might lose your credibility in what you say, that people will no longer look to you as a member of valuable wisdom. But the truth is, like, it's not true. You have a lot to offer, honestly. And what I'm getting is that, like, you're holding your own self back, because the words that you have to share, whatever wisdom, whatever thoughts you have, they are of value. And I'm just getting the sense that it's of like a wide, okay, hold on. Okay, I'm just getting the message that, like, so a part of this too is, like, you're closed off at the heart, because that is how you have been, like, shaped or molded, for lack of a better term, by this, again, I'm going to say, like, institution or organization, whatever it is that you feel bound by, this established organization that you feel bound by. They have kind of molded you to be cut off from your own heart. And because the heart is our center, you know, when we open our hearts, it leads the way. It connects to us it leads the way to us to have an open throat chakra, to be able to express and communicate and listen, to have open eardrums, to have an open mind, to be receptive, as well as to provide some sort of wisdom and knowledge. And I feel like this established institution has shaped you to be disconnected from your heart space, because to be disconnected from your heart space is to be connected to your heart space is to be connected to limitless possibility, is to be connected to your throat chakra, your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, and infinite wisdom, to other perspectives. And those things are contradictory to what you would be speaking about contradictory to what you speak about when you're disconnected from your heart. And when you're disconnected from your heart, it's not that you're necessarily, like, speaking about or sharing information of, like, malice. It's not necessarily that. It's just that it's not genuine what you're speaking about. And what you speak about is very much like, you have to do it's like what you speak about is like 1 + 1 + okay, let me start that over. What you speak about when you're disconnected from your heart comes across as like 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 4, and that's that. But when you are connected from your heart, you are aware that yes, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 4, but 2 + 2 = 4, 3 + 1 = 4. Like, you understand that there are other ways to get to 4, and none of those are wrong. Does that make sense? So this established institution that you're connected to, it's kind of limiting. It limits you. It limits you to only stay within these accepted sun rays in the analogy that I gave you. So, whew, that's hard. That's tough. It's tough to break out of cycles that we have been in for so much of our life. But I'm just getting the sense that you have some level of awareness. Look at awareness. Okay, Mike Tyson. Awareness. Look at the bottom of the deck. You have the strength card. And it's just that you need the courage. You just need the courage to break away. Like, like I said, there's this image of you cradling your own hand in your own head, rather, in your arm, like you're holding it close. You know that there's value in your own thoughts and your own perspectives, or even expanding your own mind. But you just need the courage to do so. All right, so let's see, what kind of advice can Spirit give about this situation? What can Pile 1 do to help to bring light to this shadow aspect and to give them the courage? I heard activate, so I think you might need like heart chakra activation. You can also, you can do like a quick YouTube search for heart chakra activation sound frequencies, and then follow your intuition and how you're guided and listen to that, and that will help to open up your heart chakra. And then also your solar plexus chakra, which is related to your leonine energy, your courage, your confidence, your willpower, the way we assert ourselves. So you can also listen to some solar plexus chakra sound frequencies, activating solar plexus okay, Jesus, Aaliyah. Activating your solar plexus chakra. Those sound frequencies, you can do a search for that on YouTube as well. And that will help put you in a space of connecting with your courage and with your heart. Okay, you got surrender. Ooh, it's kind of all the way up in there, isn't it? You have surrender to the divine. I'm just getting this sense to like trust. To trust that you have the ability to integrate your shadow sides with your light sides, and that the shadow does not mean bad. Everybody has shadows, and this shadow in particular is a very common one. A very common one. So I guarantee you that if you start to speak up about it, you'll realize that you're not alone. And also, that's another message that's coming through, is when you can connect to your heart chakra, when you can connect to the truth of who you are genuinely, then you will start to attract your tribe, your people that you can for real relate to, not people that you have to fake it around. And then after so much time, you're like, all right, I gotta go be on my own and like isolate, because I can't keep up this is like cringy. As you know, that's the vibe I get. So my camera hardcore wants to focus on this, so that's being emphasized. Surrender to the divine. Something about the full moon is standing out to me. Okay, you also got take time to breathe out. And prosperity lies ahead. I'm just getting the sense that if you take the time to really tackle your shadows, but keep yourself grounded while doing so, meaning because we mentioned in this pile that you can tend to be a little critical of yourself and others because that is how you have been molded. So to remember to, like, when you become critical, to remember to, like, take breaks and ground yourself and remind yourself that, oh, I'm getting kind of emotional, to remind yourself that these are lies that have been, this is the subconscious messaging that has been reiterated to you and that you have been reiterating to yourself, which is that you're not valuable, that your thoughts aren't worthy of anything, or that your voice isn't prominent enough or valuable, or that you don't have anything worthwhile to contribute. Those are all lies that this established institution has reiterated to you, or even the idea that your thoughts and the things you say have to align with this established institution, and if it doesn't, then it's not valuable. That's not true. Everybody has their own journey, and everybody has their own way of communicating and their own way of learning. And so what you have learned, the way that you would be able to communicate something to somebody, there are people out there who would best understand it the way you say it. I could say the same thing you're saying in my way of being able to say it, but they may not necessarily get it because your style of saying it or the way that you mentally process something is what they need to hear. So when you could limit yourself to only expressing yourself in a way that is quote unquote acceptable by this established organization, you're reaching far less people than you could if you were to tap into your heart space and your solar plexus chakra, your confidence, your the way you assert yourself, your willpower, and communicate and use your voice in that, share your thoughts in that way. That was kind of jumbled and rambled, so I hope that makes sense. And then in doing so, in really acknowledging these this shadow aspect, and whatever process that maybe start by journaling, like I said, it was coming through earlier, that you might write songs or something, poetry, something, but continuing to do that, there you have some kind of outlet, I'm getting, of expressing yourself, your thoughts, and it's like personal to you. You don't share that with very many people, if really anyone. Start to find the very few people that you feel you can trust truly with your authentic self and share that, and then you'll start to learn that there are like-minded individuals and there is value in what you're saying. And then as you start to raise your vibration into that frequency, you'll start to attract more of those people, which will then contribute to building your confidence and reiterating the new messaging to your subconscious and your conscious that your thoughts, the things you have to say, your being in general, your way of being and thinking and processing and expressing is valuable, it's worthy, and it's needed. So that is what I have for you, pile 2. I hope that message, the way that I communicated that message came across with love, because it is with love. It is certainly with love, and I hope that this was helpful in allowing you to resolve, whatever conflict you feel that you have within yourself that's keeping you stuck. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. If that does resonate, please feel free to interact. Let me know in the comments if you feel comfortable. Like the video. If you think that you'll be back to view more videos, it helps me to connect with your energy. Hit that subscribe button. Share with someone that you think might find this pick a pile useful, and it would certainly be appreciated. Have a great day, pile 1. Okay, pile 2. These messages are, I don't remember if I said this in the intro, but these messages that I am giving are coming through pretty intuitively. So, I like to shuffle on the camera so that you can see the cards fall out so you know that they're jumpers. I mean, that's my preference. But anyways, I'm explaining that because the way that I have the camera set up, it's like super zoomed in when I'm shuffling. So I'm just shuffling behind the scenes. Oh, there you go. Okay, there's your visual. So whatever jumps out, I am going to, I'm going to add up here, but you may not necessarily see me shuffle. Okay, so this is interesting because these two cards actually came out for pile 1. So I wonder if this pile is actually connected to pile 1 as well. And that's wild because I'm getting the sense of like value and self-esteem. But this, whereas this pile is more connected to like status and power in that way, in a material, monetary way. I'm getting the sense that you define your value, that you don't feel good enough unless you have a lot of material abundance. That your self-esteem is very connected to tangible good. Okay, you also have the Queen of Cups that came out. Let me slide this down a little bit. I'm getting the sense that this is like I'm getting the sense that maybe you don't feel that you are deserving of love. Or what's the message? It's like you're not, okay, what am I, it's like, I'm getting like the classic gold digger archetype, where it's like that you may, either this is your energy or this is an energy that you're used to dealing with, which is like the gold digger type. Okay, hold on, let me slow down and take my time because this message is not, I'm getting the sense that maybe you're used to people saying, if you don't have the, like, you can't get with me, or I won't be with you. It's that mantra of like, you have to, there's a song and it's like, I don't know this song well. I've heard it a couple times on the radio, but the part that's sticking out is it's a woman who sings it, and she's saying something along the lines, this is not verbatim, the quote of the song. Excuse me. All right, I don't think Spirit wants me to share that song. So let me just give the gist of that message, which is basically like, if you don't have X amount of money, then then I'm not attracted to you. Like you have to have a certain amount of money, a certain amount of materialistic established. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? It's like you have to have been established materially in order for I'm sorry, I'm kind of zoning out right now. I'm getting a vision, and so I think that you are a person that I think you might be a little bit disconnected from reality. You might be a Pisces. You kind of like, you have your own world. It's very like rich and comfortable. And if you could, you would stay there. Like, you're happy there. It's just so, like, I think that you're a simple person at heart. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot to please you. But you seem to come, society, I think, maybe, or maybe, I'm getting a feminine energy has put the messaging in your mind that in order to receive love, you need to be established financially. And if you this energy, this feminine energy is a little bit, it's coming through manipulative. Like, they would withhold their affections from you if you didn't do things for them in a financial, material way. I'm getting, like, get their nails done, get their hair done, get their lashes done, buy them outfits, keep them on fleek. That's what I heard. That's not a thing that I say, so maybe that's the energy of this feminine that I'm picking up on. And if you're not able to provide that, then I'm getting that they, like, their words were harsh. They would be degrading towards you. They would say things like, what kind of man are you? I'm getting that your energy is masculine. You don't have to be, though. So take it how it resonates. Like, you could be in, like, for example, you could be in a lesbian relationship and be the more masculine energy. So just take how it resonates. Or you can absolutely be a man as well. But I'm just getting the sense that, like, they would say condescending things like that. Like, what kind of man are you? Who do you think you are? And then also threaten, like, I can get anybody. Like, if you won't do it, it was just reiterating the message that, like, you were so replaceable. And if you were not, like, oh my gosh, this energy is super manipulative. I'm like getting, like, waist trainers. This person may have gotten their body, this feminine energy may have gotten their body done. I'm just getting the sense that this person has, like, heavily influenced. This person is a part of your shadow, the shadow healing. How can I explain this? It's like the entirety of your interaction with this person, which I'm getting it's a while. Like, way longer than it needed to. It ran its course long ago, but you guys stuck with each other because you were dealing with, because over time, it's like this person they, like, lured you in. They, like, lured you in. Or something about them. Like, they lured you in, and then, it was working for a little bit, and then they started to, it's like you became vulnerable and sharing things with them because they faked it. They faked it like they were genuinely caring and loving and, like, oh, let's talk about it, we can work it out, whatever. But then they would turn around and throw that in your face and use it to manipulate you. And that's how they used it to keep control over you. Like, once you opened yourself up to show your vulnerabilities, that's what they would throw in your face to get you to do what they want you to do. Ugh, I don't like that feminine energy. I don't like the way that feels, that manipulation. I'm sensing that. I'm sensing that the shadow element of that is admitting that you were involved in that you allowed someone somehow. I'm getting the sense that it's like you can't even wrap your head around it. Like, when you think back at the events of this situation, this relationship, this interaction with this person, it's like you when you're by yourself, like, you feel like you can't even grasp how you allowed that. And I'm just getting the sense that you feel almost like a little bit, I'm hesitant to say it, honestly, but I feel like you feel like a little bit disgusted with yourself. you don't want to talk, like you are tight-lipped about it. You don't want to acknowledge it. And it's like a catch-22, because it's like, in order to be able to heal this shadow side, you need to be able to talk about it. But also, talking about your vulnerabilities and your shadows before to this feminine energy is what got you in this situation where you were being manipulated. And it's impacting your openness. Okay, so these cards, oops, sorry you guys. Let me take this off because I keep accidentally hitting this and it's adjusting it. I'm also getting that, like, this does, even though it was not the healthiest situation, this does feel like a love lost situation, because at one point you did love this person, and I think that you feel that this person loved you too. Whether or not that's genuine, I don't know. I think that this person has always had an agenda. And something about that is also like shameful. Something about that is like shameful to talk about. Like, to be able to admit to yourself that this person always had an agenda and maybe they didn't really love you has disconnected you completely from your heart space, is what I'm getting. I'm also getting the fact that this situation has brought you to a point where you're like, fuck love. That's what I just heard. Aggressively. Fuck love. Like, whew, strongly. Like, you are cut off from your heart space. And it's like, I don't know, I feel the energy of sadness. I it started to well up in my throat. I felt like I was gonna cry just now, because, like, yes, it's aggressively coming off as like fuck love, but also underneath all of that is pain and loss. I'm just getting the sense that, like, you gave your true self for a while and then it was not good enough, so eventually you just kind of stopped caring. You stopped caring to show up. It's like, it's not that you stopped caring to show, like, it's like you stopped trying. You started seeking outlets to, you were no longer getting the fulfillment or the joy from this relationship, not in a consistent way. And so you were seeking outside of the relationship to offset the hostility of the relationship. Like, you were seeking pleasure to offset the hostility of the relationship. And, like, when you guys were together, it was like you would fake joy, fake an image of happiness and things like that, because I'm just getting the sense that this person would, like, threaten you, threaten to expose you. That's what I heard. I'm getting the sense that I heard wasted time. And I'm getting, like, wasted time as in, like, you spent time, like, you felt that the time that you put in that relationship was wasted, but I'm also getting wasted time. Like, you had to get through the time in that relationship, you spent a lot of it wasted. Like, you had to drink to cope through that relationship. So it's like, it's wasted time in both ways. Like, you wasted your time in that relationship, but also you were wasted the entire time in that relationship. Not entire time, literally, but like a good chunk in order to cope through that relationship. I'm just, like, constantly shuffling back here if that's what you guys hear, but it's no cards are jumping out yet. It's just, something about that general hand movement, like, helps me connect to my intuition and my my visions and stuff. I'm getting the sense that you set your, how can I explain this? It's like because of this situation, you're skeptical about any new offer of love. Because you think it's almost like you think that it's like you're expecting all feminine energy to be this way. And again, it's taking me back to like, how the heck could I miss this? Like, how the heck did this happen to me? That's what I'm hearing. It's like it's like this, like, I cannot grasp my head around how the heck I didn't see this. Like, how did this happen? And now there's like suspicion around. I'm getting the sense that you're learning how to distinguish, how to differentiate between genuine energies that that are open and willing to be vulnerable and create a space, create an atmosphere, a connection, a genuine bond where information that's shared between the two of you, or even just with anyone, is sacred and honored in that way, versus another person's energy who they have all of them. It's fake. It's like an imitation, a copycat. Like, they'll say the things and do the things and make you think. But basically, the feminine energy that you were dealing with make you think that, like, this is a safe space. Yeah. Come sit down beside me. Here, tell me all your secrets. You want a drink? But really, it's malicious intent. Like, you're delineating between. It's like you're learning to use your discernment, your intuition, to judge which character is genuine and which character is the fake. Which one is the imposter, is what I heard. Which one is the imposter? They don't give a fuck about me. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's from something. If it's from something and you know, let me know in the comments, please. I have no idea what that is, but that's what I heard. They don't give a fuck about me. Yeah. So that is that is the shadow healing that I'm getting the sense that it's taking place, or that it has taken place, and now you have this level of awareness, and it's like, let me just get a card to see. Yeah. Right. Okay, so you have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck, which is about, like, relationships and coming to use them, but also this is about choices. So I'm just getting the sense that, like, and then underneath that you have the Two of Pentacles. So I'm just getting the sense that you are in a space where you are, I don't necessarily know that you're, like, super active in this, but you are at least kind of like swishing it around. This like your choices and how you, like, what you choose to align with, like using more discernment. And I'm just getting the sense that you're paying more attention to your energy, in like that you're paying attention to like how your energy responds to other energies, to decide. And you're like really weighing up options and not really rushing ahead. Or at least if you're not doing that, then you're trying to, or that's the space that you're moving into. I'm just getting the sense that maybe you're teetering back and forth between, like, looking back at this situation like in such disbelief that you're almost like, I don't know if I want to, you know, like move forward. But then also you go back and forth between that and like weighing up like, well, maybe I could, if I do this a little bit differently and I balance that and I, you know, try to do this thing, then like maybe I could actually try again, and like I have enough knowledge and wisdom and information to be able to you know, move forward in whatever situation. But I'm also getting the energy that it's like very overthought. I'm getting the energy that there was an opportunity that you could have taken, but it's like it just is passing by, or it keeps passing by, or it has passed by several times because you're overthinking. Like you're missing opportunities because you're overthinking. That's the energy that I'm getting. So let me get some advice cards. This is truly a situation that would impact anyone I can imagine. Like, and I'm getting the sense that this relationship it wasn't like this, it was significant in its like caliber, and also significance in time. So yeah, of course it would impact you. Of course there would be some hesitancy. I can understand that. All right, so you have, yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's time. Okay, you have confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. It's like you thought through all the things. Okay, let me take this down. It's like you thought through all the things. You weighed it out. You saw it for what it is. You broke it apart and you analyzed it and then put it back together. And then you know, it's like there's no more ruminating that can be done. There's no more information that you will receive from. There's nothing. It's like you have gotten as much detail from this situation as you need to get. It's almost like thinking about it anymore is not going to change the situation. You know what you know now, and you can move forward. Have confidence that you have the ability to weigh out your options to make the right choice. Oh, you have King of Wands and King of Cups up underneath here. Like, homie, step into your power. I'm just getting that. I'm sorry to laugh. You're probably like, what the hell? I'm just getting the energy that you're like, when I said that, like that, I don't know, you're receiving this message and you're kind of like still skeptical. You're like, oh no. What the hell do you even know? What do you even know? You know what I'm saying? Well, rewind this reading and tell me if I was on point. And then if I was, follow your intuition, homie. Trust my intuition. Trust my gifts. Anyways, all right, pile 2. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. And I want to say that your energy is coming across as like you've done the work. And so I just want to say I feel very proud of this pile, because that's not an easy thing to go through. And so I want to acknowledge that if it has not been acknowledged to you yet. And, you know, I see you, homie. I'm proud of you. Good job. Keep moving forward. Keep up the work. Tap into your confidence. That is your key to success. Blah, blah, blah. I sound so cheesy and cringy. All right, pile 2. Thank you for joining. If anything resonated and you'd like to share, please feel free to comment that below. Like, share, subscribe. If there's anyone that you think might really benefit from this pick a card reading, feel free to send that to them as well. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, pile 3. I don't know if I said this in the intro, so I've just kind of been repeating this for the two songs. What the heck? I have no songs that's playing it. Okay, can you guys see that? Why is it? This is more of an intuitive read. So I was saying that, why isn't this? How do I get this to focus? Here we go. I was saying that I like shuffling the cards and taking the poppers, and I usually like to say the jumpers, And I usually like to shuffle them on camera so you can see, you know, like that I'm getting whatever spirit pulls out. Not all of those though. Maybe all of those, I don't know. Anyways, my point is that this is a weird angle. The way that I have the camera set up is super zoomed in. So I'm just shuffling. Here we go. Okay. A lot wants to come out. I'm just shuffling behind the camera so you'll hear it, but this is mostly an intuitive message. So, all right, let's see. What do we have here? I hope you can see all of these cards. I feel like this sudden sense of irritation. And perfectionism. It's like when something doesn't work out perfectly, it's like, what the fuck? Oh, that's the energy that I'm getting. Like irritation. Alright, what is this about? I'm getting, alright, let me see. Okay, so let me just explain what I am seeing, and then we'll piece this together with how this answers the question, because the question, we're talking about shadow healing, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to phrase the question in the title, and I honestly don't remember how I asked the cards, but I think it was something along the, when I pre-picked the piles, but I think it was something along the lines of like, what shadows need to be addressed, or what shadows need to be healed, what shadow aspect needs to, so even just like, okay, right, I feel super zoned out. It's not even zoned out. I feel super focused on like the finite details. It's like perfectionism, and it's kind of exhausting. And it's like when things don't work out exactly perfect, I'm frustrated. That's the energy that I'm picking up on. I'm also getting the sense that there's a lot of like ping-pongy kind of energy with like thoughts and ideas and like doing things. So like, let's say you're cleaning a house, for example, and you know you need to clean your room, make your bed, you know, vacuum that. Then you need to clean your bathroom, clean your tub, clean your toilet, wash down the sinks, whatever. You have your bathroom that you have to do. Then you also have your dishes, your kitchen. You need to wash your dishes, you need to sweep them off the floor, get that done. Then you have the living room, you need to straighten that out. So you have these different areas of the house, and it's like you're cleaning the house, and then you start in your room, and then you're like, oh gosh, you know, I need to go vacuum, so let me go down the hall to this closet and get this vacuum. And then as you pull the vacuum out, you see that your linen closet is empty, and then you remember like, oh my gosh, I have clothes in the dryer, so now I need to get these clothes out of the dryer. So now you're in the bathroom and you're getting these clothes out of the bathroom from your dryer, and then you put it in the basket, and then you're like, oh my gosh, the bathroom floor, this is dirty, I need to sweep. So now you go into your kitchen to get the broom so you can sweep, and then when you're in the kitchen, you see that the trash is full, so you start to pull that out and change. Like, that's the energy, where it's like there's so much ping-ponging going back and forth, and there's this expectation of being able to get it all done, and get it all done by yourself, and get it all done perfectly. But it's not working out, and it's frustrating. It's not working out, for one, because you're one person trying to do it all on your own. And the fact that you're just one person trying to do it all on your own is what is, it's like, is what's frustrating you. I don't think that you want it to be that way. I don't think that you want it to be that way, but I'm just getting the sense that you, like, asking for help is like, I heard foreign concept. It's like you're not able to ask for help. You either help has not been reliable, or like you just don't trust help. You don't trust help to either show up or to be consistent. You don't trust help. Like, you know that to get it done, you know that if you do it, it's going to get done. And if it's not done, then you are the only person that you have to be accountable for, which is better because you can make the decision. You know if you're not going to be able to get something done. So in your mind, that's better than asking for someone for help and then having the expectation that they're going to show up and help you, but then ultimately have to face the disappointment that they don't help you, or they can't help you, or they withdraw their help, or whatever. The help, and then it falls back on you anyway. So where you had that glimpse of hope that, like, oh, okay, some stuff can get done, and even I can let go a little bit, like let down this perfectionistic way of trying to. The perfectionism I'm getting isn't necessarily like I need to be perfect so that I can be accepted. It's like I need to make sure that I have all these pieces together perfectly, because that's how I hold this together. And if I don't hold this together, then this is going to fall apart. And if this falls apart, then that's messing with my very foundation, my very stability. And if I'm not stable, then I'm not stable in general, in my sense of self, in my mentality, in my emotions. Like, I can't navigate the world. That's the energy. And I think that that is what you are experiencing, or that's what you are coming out of, or trying to come out of. That you're trying to find, I'm getting the sense that you're trying to find a better balance. That you're trying to find a better balance, but it's like finding that better balance is, I'm just getting the sense that you are mentally exhausted. I'm also, okay, so these cards came out. You have the Four of Swords and the Lovers in reverse. And typically, I don't know, I'm like picky about the cards that I take in reverse. Anyways, it doesn't matter. My point is, the messaging of that is that it's like you've had to like make the decisions and all the choices on your own for so long, and hold everything together by yourself for so long, that it's like you need a mental break from having, it's like, okay, so yeah, this is like a masculine, this is like coming into balance with your masculine and feminine energy. And I think that it's a little more challenged. Why is this a shadow though? So you're trying to come into balance with your masculine and feminine energy, and I think that you are a person that has been operating and functioning in your masculine energy overly for too long, or for so long, that being in your feminine receptive energy, asking for help is foreign. Okay, so that's like being in your feminine energy is like you're trying to balance that out. You're adjusting. You're getting used to that. You're getting used to not being the person that has to make choices. And I'm getting that you have to really work, that you have to like, that there, it's like you have to like, that's the energy. Like, take a deep breath and talk yourself out of being resistant to making choices. Where, like, in situations when your intuition will say, don't worry about it, or you don't need to do anything, it's going to be handled, trusting that it's going to be handled and not taking it in your own hands is like you're working on, you are learning to balance that, to accept that, to be comfortable in that position, in that role of letting things work out how they will, trusting the universe to provide, because you've had to be, man, energy is making me a little bit emotional. It's like you've had to carry yourself for a very long time, and so trusting anybody else to carry you forward is that's your shadow. It's like that's the thing that's difficult for you to talk about. That's the thing for you that's difficult. I feel like such restriction in my throat chakra right now. is difficult for you to talk about because in situations in the past where you have trusted somebody to carry you forward, or at least to like put in half the effort to be carried forward as a team, it didn't work out. And acknowledging like where you have contributed to that in that situation, where you may have been overly like too in your masculine energy, too much in your do, like too controlling in that sense, and being able to like relinquish control and take a step back and allow someone else to step up, or a situation, whatever, the universe, to allow someone, the universe, the situation, however you want to say that. I'm just gonna say someone because it's easier to say that. Someone or the universe, I'll say that. To allow someone else or the universe to step in and take the lead is scary. And that's your shadow. That is the shadow healing that you are working on. I just get the sense that you're like, you're exhausted, you're drained. It's like I feel my body suddenly feels so like tense and sore, like it's like almost like energetically, I think you feel beat up, but also like it's almost like you feel so energetically beat up that you're starting to feel it in your physical body, which makes sense because as energy stagnates, energy has to have a way to express itself, and if it doesn't, then it's going to take the path of least resistance. And sometimes if you like have emotional stagnancy, for example, like you are like, no, I'm not a crier, I refuse to cry, I'm never gonna cry, nothing makes me sad, and if I do, I'm gonna man up or woman up, and I'm gonna, handle what needs to be handled and thug it out and move on. If you're that type of person, you don't allow yourself to you don't give yourself permission to, anyways, what is the analogy that I'm saying? That energy stagnates. You're not fully expressing. If you have 12 lanes of emotions that energy can travel through, and you limit that expression to 6 lanes, for example, like it's like a traffic jam. So next thing you know, it's gonna be like busting out the sides. I don't know if this metaphor even makes sense. My point is, imagine if that is happening in your body. Now you have energy that's stuck and building up within you, so now it's trying to work its way out. Now suddenly you have shoulder tension, neck tension, your lower back hurts, you're getting headaches, your eyesight's getting blurry. Why? Because pay attention to where in your body it's happening, because these are areas where like pay attention to the chakras that it's close to, because a lot of times whatever it's close to, there's a blockage, or that chakra is blocked or overactive, and so the pain that you are feeling that's near there, it could be associated with some sort of healing that needs to be done related to that chakra. So what I'm saying is, if you constantly have stomach aches, or you're like not able to digest food properly, the chakras that's located in that area is your solar plexus chakra and your sacral chakra. So it could be something that has to do with like your confidence, or the way you assert yourself, your willpower. It could be that you are overly in your masculine energy, in your doer active energy, or it could be that you maybe are not connected to your creativity, your sensuality, your sexuality. That's your sacral chakra. So pay attention to where you're. Anyways, I'm like, that's how your energy feels. Where it's like not. It's back to that whole analogy that I gave in the beginning, where like you're trying to clean a house, and then you start off in the kitchen, and then, or where did I say you start? It doesn't matter. You start off in one room, and then you're like, oh yeah, I gotta go get the thing. And then next thing you're in another room trying to get it done, and then like that's how your energy is. It just feels kind of. Oof. Like there's too much going on. But I'm just getting the sense that it's I don't know that that it's anything that you have to do or not do, other than to like really embrace your feminine energy, because it's your energetic system trying to balance itself out. And so like it's your energetic system trying to balance yourself out. So if you like overthink things, or you find that you are like resistant. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that it's likely that you're going to experience this kind of like all over the place type of energy. Try to just accept that. Don't overthink it. Yeah, man. 9 of Wands, like wounded warrior. Like you are beat up. You're like, golly, like I know I have one more. I've gone through 9 wands. I know I have one more wand one more lap to complete this race, but like it's like I got beat up on every single one. I don't know if I can handle another one. Like I'm gonna do it, but like give me a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I'm dizzy. I need to find my footing again. Like this thing needs to hold me up. Like I'm getting very much like Rocky. Yeah, that's what the movie's called, right? Rocky. Actually, it's been a very long time since I've seen that movie, and so I don't really remember the details of it, but I remember like he was getting beat the fuck up, I feel like, and then like in the 11th hour, in the last round, he finally like pushes through and like becomes a champion. But like before that, it was like, oh, I don't know. And that's the energy of this card. That's the energy that I'm getting from you. So, yeah, that is your shadow element. That is what you are not talking about. I'm just getting the sense that you're not talking about that. Like you're just like putting on a happy face and moving forward, like everything is all good. But in the shadows of the night, you cry. I think that you have, okay, so because behind these cards you have the Tower card. Let me take some of these down. You have the Tower card, the 8 of Cups, 7 of Cups. I'm just getting the sense that like you had to walk away from a lot. You had to walk away from something that was pretty significant for better, for a new opportunity. To like, and I'm just getting the sense that it's like it has to do with your emotional fulfillment. And it's intuitive, this decision. Like it's like, how can I explain it? It's like you intuitively knew that this has to happen if you want to start this new venture, to be able to connect to your own true fulfillment. Because anything that you were doing in the past, it may have been satisfying for a little bit, but then ultimately it's like it's not. Ultimately it becomes more of a burden than a satisfaction. And so whatever it is that you have been doing to function in that way, to continue to repeat these same types of patterns and cycles, you knew you had to like start over completely. And even though you didn't have a plan, or you didn't really know what exactly to expect or what that's going to look like, maybe even still to this day, you were just following your intuition, because you know that anything that comes up now that feels abrasive to your energy, that is reminiscent of the patterns that you have been a part of in the past, that got you stuck in this cycle of getting and losing and never truly being fulfilled. You're like, nope, been there, done that, not doing that shit again. You know what I'm saying? Abort mission. And it's like you're not sure exactly what it is going to take to get you to this wish fulfillment, but you're taking it as it comes. So it's like maybe you have these ideas and you're like, okay, I'm going to try it. And it's like you're balancing what needs hard work and a practical plan versus what is like a clear no for your energy. Instead of like making it where in the past you might have made excuses where something maybe didn't feel good and it's like, well, you know, maybe I just need to practice more, or maybe I need to learn this, or maybe I need to stick it out, or maybe I need to be more, you know, whatever, where you may have made excuses in the past for, it's not even that I'm saying, and it's not, okay, that's not the way that I'm trying to describe that. It's not necessarily that you made excuses. It's that like there is this expectation of how you have to exist to achieve quote unquote success. And so like, even though that may not have necessarily felt good to your energy, it was like, okay, well, this is the rubric. This is the structure everyone says I need to follow to be successful. So this is what I'm going to, like, that's the justification. And now you're like, I don't care about this rubric. If it does not feel, if it's abrasive to my energy, it's a no. It's a hard pass. Like, that's your energy that's coming through. And if someone says, okay, well, you know, go ahead and outline these these top 3 things, or outline what you need or what you want. What is your wish fulfillment? What are you know, what will get you there? You're like, I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I have this, and this that I like, and I want to explore them. I haven't had the opportunity to explore these in the past because I haven't had the opportunity to explore myself because I had to exist in this box in order to be quote unquote successful. And that shit did not work for me. And now I'm this far in my life, and like, I'm not trying to continue going the next however many years of my life feeling like this. So now these things that I find interesting that I think brings me fulfillment, I'm going to explore them. And I don't know how long it'll last, or I don't know if this is just a stepping stone or a building block to, you know, my ultimate wish fulfillment and happily ever after. I don't know, but I'm going to do what feels good. And anything that's abrasive or offensive to my energy is a hard pass. And no, I don't feel the need to explain that shit. Which, kudos to you, homie, because I dig it. I dig it. So, for the shadow healing, I mean, I think that you have made pretty good progress in your shadow healing. Like, it feels good. It feels like you are on the positive side. Like, you have shed the light on this shadow, and now you're just trying to balance it out. It's like you have recognized and acknowledged where the things were, where the gears were disconnected and where they weren't seamlessly, you know, like click, 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 working. Okay, I don't know how to, I see the visual in my mind, but I feel like the way I described that was not great. So anyway, so you're just trying to, yeah, okay, you have a new start is coming, which is exactly what I was saying. Like, you knew that you had, okay, this doesn't want to, come on, guy. There we go. New moon. That might be significant. I'm also getting the sense that you are super intuitive, by the way. Yeah, that, I think I said that. Like, it's like you're intuitively led on your path. Like, you don't necessarily have you're just checking with your energy. It's very intuitive. So, a new start is coming, which I think is what I said when I was like, you knew that you had to walk away from whatever wasn't serving you in the past, that was not bringing you to this quote unquote success, and start new. And you may not know exactly what that looks like or how that's going to play out just yet, but you can feel in your energy when to pivot left or turn right or shake this motherfucker off, or, you know, dip and dodge that one, or embrace this person, take a couple steps back, you know. All right, let's see if we can get one more for advice, or I don't know, maybe just even confirmation for pile 3 for their shadow healing process. Okay. Oh, bring love into the situation. Okay. Open up your heart. It's time to take action. Yes, honey. And this other one fell out. Step out of your comfort zone, which, North Node. Yes, that's dope. My North Node is in Aries, side note. So I can relate to this pile, to be honest with you. This is the pile that I picked for myself, so. Vulnerable moment, but yeah, absolutely. All of this right here. Oh my gosh, I said my North Node is in Aries, and boom, what do you have here? New moon in Aries. Yeah, I'm just getting like, do it. Just do it. Keep doing it. Not only that, and like, I think that I'm feeling like this is more confirmation than advice, but if it's not confirmation, if you haven't already started this, then this is I was gonna say this is your sign too, which I find so cheesy, but I mean, fuck it. This is your sign to do that, to take action, to start new, step out of your comfort zone. Give yourself permission to explore the things that you find interesting. Who gives a fuck what anybody has to say or think? Do it in private and in secret on your own first if you need to. You know what I mean? Until you get comfortable with it. If it's something that you're learning that's new and you don't maybe necessarily want to share it because maybe you have naysayers or, negative Nancy's or whatever. It's all good. It's okay. It's okay to step out of your comfort zone, even if you have to do that on your own and only tell like one or two person. Take action. Bring some passion into the situation. Like, go after whatever you're passionate about. Bring love into the situation too. I think that this is so. This may be referencing like a romantic relationship, but So this may be referencing a romantic relationship, which will also help to just kind of solidify and help you balance out your masculine and feminine energy, as long as you can attract the right type of person that is balanced within their masculine and feminine energy as well, and can be understanding and compassionate to the fact that you are learning to balance yours out as well. But also, I'm just getting, this is the message of like going after, like following your heart. You know what I mean? In whatever sense that may, if that's like business or career or relationships or hobbies or family dynamic or whatever, like follow your heart, bring love into the situation in that way. So pile 3, I certainly hope this resonates. I think that this was a pretty cool message, because for me, it's showing me that you kind of have already acknowledged this shadow healing. This is something that you've been doing for a little while now. So this kind of is coming through as confirmation that you're on the right track and to keep going. So thank you for sharing your energy with me. Please feel free to comment down below. Let me know if this resonates, if you feel that any certain part of this message really hit you. I would love to hear it. Like I said, this is the pile that I picked for myself, so I can super relate, and maybe we can have some things to talk about. But if not, like, share, subscribe. I love tapping into your energy, so if you'd like me to continue to pick up on your energy for future readings, that will super help with that. And if you have anybody that you think would benefit from this reading, please also feel free to share with them. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.